Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. Gonna be a little serious topic today because another December, another school shooting. I want to talk a little bit about the shooting that happened in Wisconsin yesterday. I don't have all the facts memorized, so I'm going to be looking at an article here on the phone. Not a lot of facts out there yet. But I want to just talk a little bit about a couple things. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Thoughts go out with those people that just lost kids in Madison, Wisconsin, right before Christmas, losing more kids to a school shooting. Makes it tough, and this hits hard because, this is what I do. If you don't know, I'm the author of Survive a Shooting. I go around and I help people prepare and do things for this. And it's just, I can't stand that we're continuing to see people lost. I'm drinking out of a Believe cup, sort of a holiday cup. Believe, we need to believe in Santa, the Christmas spirit. We also need to believe that we can do something about these shootings. I grew up school in the 70s and 80s. I always had a knife on me. In grade school, we used to play with our knives in recess. I always had guns. Getting arguments with my friends about my Colt was better than their Ruger, blah, blah, blah. We never wanted to go stab each other or shoot each other. We got all these different rules and regulations, and can't even take a plastic knife to school for a Halloween costume. But we have kids dying all the time when we didn't have it back then. Definitely stuff has changed, and I don't have all the answers, but let's just talk about a few things. First, let's just look at what happened yesterday. It was a private school east of downtown Madison. It was the Abundant Life Christian School, a small school, K through 12 with 300 some students. And a teenage female went in with a handgun, killed a teacher, killed another student, and wounded 6. 2 of those 6 critical condition. The other 4 should be okay. And she then killed herself, apparently, is what they said. So the shooter is also dead, and it looked like a self-inflicted gunshot wound after shooting the other people. It did not say what kind of handgun, so I don't know, but it was a handgun. The shooting happened in a classroom in the morning. Law enforcement arrived, and the shooter was already killed. The parents are cooperating, and I'm betting, and I'm saying this just because of so much research, that they're going to find a bunch of clues. And we're going to get back to that because that's important. Now, this one article I'm reading, how are officials responding? And said hours after the shooting, President Joe Biden pressed Congress to pass gun reform legislation, including universal background checks and a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. Well, the problem with that is, as a teenager, she wouldn't have been able to legally buy the handgun. So she had to get it somewhere else. As a teenager, she probably doesn't have anything in her background that would flag a background check, even if she was legally able to buy a handgun. It was a handgun. Assault rifle ban wouldn't do a dang thing, right? And the majority of active shooters are done with handguns because they're easier to conceal, easier to, so forth. So, again, the politicians say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And, assault rifles, we got to ban them because that's an emotional thing, making them feel good like they're doing something. But it's not. Not when the majority of active shooters are killed or are done with handguns. Okay? Now, the thing is, all of the people that kill people, they're breaking laws. So establishing laws, not necessarily going to help anything because they're breaking the laws. All right. So more and more laws, not necessarily going to fix the problem. So how do we fix the problem? Why don't we spend more resources and more time on trying to prevent these things? There are so many clues. I mentioned earlier, I bet you they're going to find clues. And they're ignored. And we don't have the resources to pursue them. And then these things happen when they could be prevented. Why are we not putting more time, resources, and energy into recognizing the signs and getting people help before they do something bad? Now, it happens sometimes. Remember the guy that found the diary? I've talked about that before, and I talk about it in my live classes. Found the diary. Daughter wanted to go do a killing and so forth, and he got that young lady help before she took a gun to school and did anything bad. And there are others. There are many instances where people have prevented killings because they recognized signs and reported it to the right people, and the right people took the action steps to get the help needed before people got killed. Unfortunately, so many killings have the warning signs that are ignored, or they don't have the resources to follow up on them. Nobody reported it to the proper people, and then people dying. We really need to put more time, energy, and resources into the prevention than trying to outlaw guns and this or that more laws that are already being broken. I mean, it's against the law to go kill people. We already got that law. Why do we need more laws, right? Well, people aren't listening to that law. So let's make more laws, more laws, more laws. They're not listening to the laws. They're not in the right state of mind to care about the laws. So we need to do something to change why they're wanting to go kill people in the first place and get them the help and treatment and different things to do that. And there are people out there that say, video games and the violence and all and the media and a lot of different things contribute. And I think they probably do. How much? It's hard to say. And like Dave Grossman, when I was at a conference with him one time, said, not everybody that plays violent games becomes a killer, but all the killers play violent games. Okay, so there's something there. So we need to start looking at different signs and these warning signs that are abundant before so many killings and taking action to do some prevention. That's where we need to focus. And that's what I'm trying to do more too. I mean, I go in and I help people harden targets, teach them what to do when bullets are actually flying, teach them how to respond when the police show up, teach them some trauma aid so they can aid people that are wounded and keep them alive until the professionals get there. I'm teaching all of that, and I have a little bit of prevention in those programs too, but I'm hoping to do more and maybe do some future programs that are geared more toward the prevention, because I really believe, and that's why I got the Believe Cup today, I really believe that's where we need to go to curb this problem. I want to say good morning to Jay and Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here and saying hello. Jay and Vicky say it's a sad day. It is. It's a sad day whenever we see young folks killing each other. And we need to do something to prevent that. Dixon's here, and Dixon said teen suicide used to not be about a high body count. Things have definitely changed since I was a teenager. Shaking my head. I agree, Dixon. I mean, we've had school killings way back, several hundred years. The biggest school killing ever was in the 1920s, almost 100 years ago. But it was a man killing students and teachers. The rise in kids killing their peers and stuff in kids really is a more modern thing after you and I were out of school and many others our age. And we really need to do something about this terrible change. That article I read, a second grader apparently is who called 911, one of the first to call 911. That's sort of sad too when you think about it. A second grader, the week before Christmas, should be enjoying a school party and fun and learning and not dialing 911 to report a murder. or murders. Something terribly sad and wrong. And we need to do a better job at recognizing and preventing. And that takes training and money. And sadly, the schools limited budget, limited time for both. And I don't know the answer 100%. I'm researching and learning more about this topic all the time so I can be a better instructor, so I can help more people. And I also know so many schools have limited budgets, limited time. I've helped a lot of schools with their active shooter plans, with training, with Reflex Protect, giving them a non-lethal tool to deal with violence. And it's to deal with violence, not just active shooters, but any kind of violence. It can stop in a non-lethal way and not cross-contaminate to other students or HVAC system and so forth. But I think a bigger thing has to be the prevention. If we could stop these things from occurring in the first place, we need a bigger focus on that. That's what I wanted to share today. Appreciate everybody listening. Go out. Make it a tremendous Thursday. Sign up for that newsletter at enjoylifesafely.com if you haven't yet. Bunch of good information on staying safe. It's a crazy world out there, and I want to help you stay safe so you can enjoy more of it. We'll see you tomorrow.